Hi everyone, I'm Ray Rodriguez and this is Ray Ro in a fashion world. I'm really proud and happy to interview Ana Maria Montero, former presenter of CNN International. Ana Maria, thank you very much for being with me.
Thank you for having me. This is so fun.
Ana Maria, it's a big surprise for me to have Zurich.
Where I've been hiding. Now my secret is out.
And I didn't know you were here, but now we are in this beautiful city, and I'm very curious because 20 years working for CNN, you were presenting a scenario. I was watching a scenario long time ago. Tell me a little bit about of this experience.
Which part? The 20 years?
How did it start?
Okay. I started as an intern. I was in university and I wanted to get a degree in broadcast journalism, and they said, you need at the end an internship. And I went down the street because I lived in Atlanta and to the CNN Center, and I said, hi, I need an internship. They said, take a seat. You have to wait about a year. And then they looked when I filled out the application, they saw that I spoke Spanish. And then they said, wait a minute, don't move. They called immediately, and I had an internship. I started the next day. And, I have colleagues for whom I brought coffee, that are still Angela Patricia Daniot, who's our lead anchor from Colombia. I brought her coffee and pencils, and I ran around like a maniac in the newsroom. And yeah, I started at the very bottom.
And then you were presenting a scenario. A scenario was a program about stars, Hollywood, artists. Why did you choose a scenario and not another topic like politics or economy?
That is a good question. I think it kind of chose me, if that makes any sense. I started covering entertainment news when I lived in Madrid, and that's something I absolutely fell into. A friend needed someone, and they said, do you want to do this interview? And I was like, okay. And then I kind of started this way. And the next thing you knew, I had built up this reel of celebrity interviews. And so when CNN Español went 24 hours, they called me and they said, we have a daily show that we need somebody for in LA. And, you've been doing celebrity news, so how about you come out and do it here? Wow, and that's how I just never segued, I just kind of went, okay.
Wow, Ana Maria, what was the best interview you did ever?
Oh, that's a hard question.
I know. You have to be careful because,
I know. I can't really answer that question.
But tell me like a personality you had in the front and you say, wow, it's difficult to ask a question to this person.
A difficult interview. Okay, maybe that's a little bit easier. Tommy Lee Jones.
Why?
Difficult interview. Because he doesn't suffer fools. He's very straight and he doesn't want to waste time. And I think he doesn't appreciate nonsense questions or something like this. You really have to be and have your stuff together. He was very nice, I have to say, but he made me a little nervous.
And the interview you really enjoyed.
Well, I know this sounds like I'm just copping out, but I really have enjoyed so many interviews. But from, I don't know, Antonio Banderas comes to mind for some reason because he's such a charming man. So it's hard. I guess I'm drawing a bit of a blank, but I interviewed.
You were just sitting there and waiting for your the guest, and then you were preparing. I imagine you were enjoying, Ana Maria, the first time you were on the red carpet. Tell me about this moment in the Oscars awards.
That I can answer a little bit easier. Gosh, I was like 21 years old, and it was such a different setup in those days. But outside of the Dorothy Chandler Theater in Los Angeles, and
but were you prepared for this? Because you have,
this is where the story is. I was speaking so loud into the microphone because it's so loud. You're above the carpet, and it's, you're on a bridge above the carpet basically, and it's so loud that you feel like you have to scream into your microphone. And I remember that my colleague from CNN Domestic at the time had to ask me to turn it down because they could hear me over their broadcast.
You don't have to scream because you have the microphone, actually.
Oh, that was a lesson learned.
And were you reading about the Oscars before, or because?
Yes, because I've always been a film nerd. I've always loved film, and very interested in people's careers and who's directing and everything that has to do with the movie business. I've always been a fan. So for me, yeah, being at the Oscars was also super exciting, you know, on a personal level. And then as a professional, also such an honor.
So it was not like a surprise to see you there, and then because your colleagues maybe they were waiting for this opportunity to present the Oscars. I mean, I would be jealous if I'm in CNN and I'm not presenting.
Well, it's not an easy gig. It's not as easy as it looks. It's really, especially if you have to do live coverage. It's you have to have all of the information in your head. You have to know who's coming. You have to know who's not coming. You have to be able to flag down the PR representatives and have relationships so that they stop. And somebody's at the door. So that they stop and also acknowledge you. And there's a lot of production that goes into that. And of course, you have a team of people. You don't do it by yourself.
And you have makeup, you have hairstylists, you have a lot of things, so you feel comfortable. You don't have to. You have to worry about the topic you're going to present. Ana Maria, later in the fashion world, is always asking about style, fashion, lifestyle. You have been traveling around the world. What is the most beautiful place you have been before?
Ah, the most beautiful place? Oh, wow. Well, okay. Again, it depends on how you define beauty, but I think Zurich is beautiful. I love living in. I think Zurich is beautiful. I feel like I live in a postcard. I always say that. But gosh, Spain, where my family is from. I'm sorry, I have a hard time finding an ugly corner in Spain.
You enjoy every place you go.
Yeah, I do. But you know, if you want to talk, República Dominicana, El Caribe is also its own special beauty. I mean, it just.
And talking about beauty, what is your secret to keep yourself like this? Because your skin, your body is looking amazing, I must say. Tell me a little bit because they want also know. They want also know our viewers why you're looking like that.
I have kids. No. The reason I say that is because I have a very active life. I never stop. I have a very urban lifestyle. I have a bike and I bike everywhere, wherever possible. I love it because it keeps me active and keeps me moving. My building, live in this beautiful old building without a lift. So,
It helps.
so it's a walk up. You know, all of these things that are just incorporated into my daily life make it. And of course, I ran after my daughters. So, you know, all of these things make you move. You know, and I'm happy. And I think that also reflects that. You know,
It shows.
yeah, maybe. And I drink a lot of water, lots of water, and yeah.
And sleep well.
And yes, I have to say, I'd really try to, as in Spanish we would say, soy celosa con el sueño. I really try to sleep what I need, or else it just doesn't work.
And that's really important. Ana Maria, thank you very much for being with me. It's been a pleasure. Just say goodbye to all our followers and fans.
Yes, goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us. This was so fun.
And cheers.
And now I get to drink this.
Ciao.
Ciao.